Welcome back, anime fans, to Ghost in the Cloud, your anime podcast. My name is John, and with me is my co-host, Bridget.
Hey!
This week, we are talking about recovery of an MMO junkie.
Subtitled as Recommendations of the Wonderful Virtual Life. This is our first episode of 2018, and we're looking forward to the new year and all that it has in store for us.
So, as we said, recovery of an MMO junkie, subtitled The Recommendation of the Wonderful Virtual Life, is a Japanese manga series written by Rin Kokuyo. The anime television series adaptation directed by Kazuyoshi Yaganuma and animated by Signal MD. It aired between October and December of this past year.
2017. It's a baby anime.
Here's a quick synopsis for you guys. Morioka is a 30-year-old successful career woman who decides to quit her job and become an elite NEET, which will be our word of the week shortly. She wants to find a more fulfilling life. Having been an MMO player in the past, she joins an online MMORPG, Fruits der Mer, and creates a male character named Hayashi as her avatar. In-game, Hayashi meets another character, Lily, a high-level player, who helps him learn the game. Hayashi and Lily become close friends, and Hayashi joins Lily's guild at home party. Meanwhile, in the real world, Morioka has a chance encounter with a good-looking elite company employee, Yuta Sakurai, who may have ties to her online life.
So the word of the week, NEET. It's not actually a Japanese word. It's the word derived from Europe. I've seen it mentioned a lot in animes. It's definitely common word used in Japan. And it stands for not in education, employment, or training. In other words, a good for nothing. So
a good for nothing.
A good for nothing. So yeah, the word NEET is not a good thing. She tries to present it in like a better light. Like she's like, I'm an elite NEET because I chose this lifestyle for myself. Like she quit her job and, you know, she chose to be NEET. It's not because she can't get by in a job, but it's still something that she's ashamed to admit to people and she's embarrassed by because she knows it's not a good thing. NEET.
So elite NEET means that she chose it? I thought it represented it because of her age.
No, I think it was because it was a lifestyle that she chose for herself. She's like, I know, I'm this way on purpose. This is the lifestyle I chose. That's why I'm an elite NEET.
I like it. Yeah. Some of the things this show covers, it's a romantic comedy. It's a rom-com. As you watch Morioka, Mori, you could see how she's just sort of escaping life, the social anxiety she has with the real world, and how life online is just so very different. One of the major sort of things that I took from the show is how, because she plays a male character and Yuta plays a female character, they're kind of breaking down in very subtle ways the gender barriers, because it's a topic in the world today that's become very controversial.
Yes. Well, when they play their characters, they role play, and that's very popular in these games, and that's why MMORPG, which stands for Massive Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game. So when people make a character of the opposite gender, they want to get involved with the game. They want to do the role playing. They will act as they want their character to appear. So, I mean, Yuta even explained that he wanted Lily, his character, to come across as a very sweet, lighthearted, very feminine character. So he had her behave that way. And so it does, as you said, it does eliminate gender barriers.
I consider myself somewhat of a gamer, and I've played a couple of MMOs now, but I never played on the RPG, like the role-playing servers. Like, I always played the game to enjoy the game itself, but the character I made never sort of influenced. I'm curious now. I wonder if maybe I'll go back and pick like a role-playing server and become that character.
I definitely played a role-playing server when I played WoW back in the day. That being said, what drew me to the show was the fact that it was about MMOs, and I have to say that MMORPGs are my favorite style of gameplay. I love them so much. I'm playing 2 right now.
What drew me to the show is the fact that that how she deals with her social anxiety. Because when I was younger, I am now 30, and I feel like I've gotten myself somewhat together. But when I was younger, I had terrible social anxiety, and like I was not good with speaking to people. I was not good with introducing myself, or even being in a crowd that I wasn't comfortable with.
Me too.
And like I could so relate to Morioka because of all this stuff she's going through. Granted, it's a comedy, so they go to sort of some extremes.
Yeah.
Like you could see her sort of paranoia and anxiety take the form of just like cleaning and how she presents herself or how she acts in certain situations. Like she's almost like a kid in many ways. Like she's an adult. She's a 30-year-old who can do all the adult stuff. It's like she never really grew up.
Right, yeah, socially, she's still inexperienced. What you were saying, I had the exact same connection that I'm the same age as Mori Mori, and I'm also really big into these games. I was in the same place. I used to be like really shy when I was younger. I was very shy when I started college, and like through my college years, and when I played a lot of MMOs, and that's when I kind of started to break down the walls and learn how to talk to people. There was a time when I was a lot like her, so I really connected to Moriko. I was like, yeah, Moriko. I just want to say Mori Mori. I was just like, wow, like I can totally relate to this character. And there was a couple scenes where you really see her insecurity of her age too, because when you hit that big 3-0, you question like, oh my god, am I old? Is this the time of my life when I'm considered old, or am I still young? Like I was just in my 20s, like the prime of my life, and now it's like you have to kind of face your future.
I mean, it's implied that Morioko has definitely applied herself in the past because after quitting her job, she doesn't really look for a new one. Like, she has the means to live.
Yeah, she must have really, she had to have saved
I mean, granted, she lives in a studio apartment.
And she lives on instant food or takeout.
Which is not the greatest goal in the world. I think
this show took place over the course of a year, so she had to have quite a savings to live that lifestyle, which I don't think we could do here. Where we live in New York, it's very expensive, and I'm just happy for my month-to-month life getting by, but like I cannot imagine saving up enough money to like just, what, next year, 2018, I'm just gonna play Final Fantasy 15, and I'm just gonna...
I don't know if I could play a game every day.
When I saw her insecurities about her age, when she was imagining meeting Yuta again, and her turning around and her face looking like really old. Remember, she was like imagining him interpreting her as like an old lady, and she's like, oh, he wouldn't like me. I'm old. Yuta's friend Koiwai, he was just like, no, you're not. I'm older than you. I'm 32. I can definitely understand how she feels, being her age. I was just like, yeah, I get that. People don't see me as old, but I'm starting to wonder.
All right, so I got 2 questions.
Yeah.
Is the title of the show misleading? And do you think it's a successful rom-com? Rom-com is romantic comedy for all you youngins out there.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was an adorable romance comedy. I really like that. They connected over not 1, but 2 MMOs. Yeah. Like, what are the odds of that?
That's true.
Like it's either luck or they just have that click.
They try to almost imply that it's like fate.
Yes, definitely.
But Yuta doesn't really believe in that stuff. He's just like, it was just a chance coincidence. I don't know. For the characters being older, they come across as like young teenagers who are are falling for each other, which is what the show implies. And I think it's a really good, successful, funny show. And the fact that it's a short show, I think it's only 12 or so 13 episodes. It really it makes you laugh. It's like a good, lighthearted time.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan.
I did find the title misleading, though. Like, when I heard Recovery of an MMO Junkie, I was thinking, all right, some kid has been binging MMOs and doesn't know how to live in the real world. It's just nothing but games, and is now trying to recover from being an MMO by living in the real world.
I was saying to Bridget earlier, I think it should be called A Relapse of an MMO Junkie.
Yeah.
Because she starts off not having played an MMO for some time, and then she goes balls to the walls for Fruits de Mer.
Yeah, which that was a really funny title, because here we just, came back from Europe a couple months ago, and we were in France, and I'm like, Mer is French for the sea. So I thought that was cool.
Fruits of the sea.
Fruits de mer. So yeah, that's what I was like, oh, that sounds very French to me.
I will be honest, after watching this show, we started looking at MMOs to play because we wanted to find something that looked similar to what the characters were.
I love anime style MMOs.
And we found Eden Eternal.
It's free.
It is free.
I really enjoy it.
It's entertaining enough. It's very simple.
It's kawaii.
It's what?
Cute.
Oh, it is cute. It's very cute. It's not a game that drew me in necessarily.
That's too bad. I'm like level 40
It's
already.
something I could play if I have some downtime, but it's not it won't be my first game of choice. That said, the graphics for it are really similar and really funny.
I would have to say that some of my patterns is definitely that of like an MMO junkie. Like I'll start playing a game, I don't get really into it, and I can't do anything else, and I'm just like in my free time in the morning when I'm supposed to be getting ready for work, I'm trying to squeeze in like a few minutes on this game that I'm playing. I just can't put it down. I can't stop. And then it'll fizzle out. I'll finally get over it, and I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to take a break, and I'm able to live a normal life again. And then I'll play another MMO, and it'll start all over again. So when I started playing Eden Eternal, which I had played once before when it first came out, I did that. I was like, oh my god, I love this game so much. I'm going to play it all the time. And I made a really cute character, and I think if you spend like $10 or $5, you get like more points than you'll ever need, and you get really cute outfits, and of course I did that. And she's in a cute kimono. Her weapon looks like
I think we need to get you into some rehab.
But her outfit's really cute. I want to make her a samurai, which you have to level some beginner classes. So you have to get them certain levels, character levels, and this is what an MMO junkie sounds like. So Mori I can totally relate to. But Eden Eternal is great if you're looking for a free anime style MMORPG.
I was happy just to find a show that was centered around older characters.
Right.
The show we actually just finished, which we'll be doing next week, we'll mention later, is centered around young characters for the most part.
Right.
And this show is like a nice break from those kinds of animes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't overly serious either, which was really great.
It was a very sweet, lighthearted show.
I felt like I could easily put myself in the shoes of these characters.
Absolutely.
Living your day-to-day, working, coming home, having only a small amount of time really to yourself to do what you want. Like, I get it. I understood it, and it made sense to me.
Another way that I related to the show is how these two main characters, Mori and Yuta, meet. They meet online, and that was something that really hit home, is because we actually initially met online, not on a game, but one of those like online sites. But I thought that was really cool that it was a lot of parallels, so I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I mean, I also really like the other characters in this show. I think they're all really good, like all the supporting characters. I think it was really
so
well-rounded.
We haven't met all of them in real life yet.
Quote,
yes. Unreal. Because of the game that Morioka and Yuta play, we've met some of the other characters. Kazumi is actually one who they have met in real life. He's a college student, works part-time. Yeah,
he is actually. Yeah, he's the cashier.
He's kind of he's a little bit of a trickster. Not as much as Yuta's friend, Kawhi, which
oh my god,
earlier.
he makes the best character ever.
He is quite a trickster. It's pretty entertaining. And then some of the characters in game are Pokotaro and Himerelda and Lilac, all like characters and people that they've become friends with.
Yeah,
and it's just interesting. Once you take away the look of someone, how easy it is to become friends with someone when there's no physical attribute to it. Because there's online gaming is gigantic. Like, it's a huge community.
I think you're right. Not being able to see the people that you're playing with, it kind of removes any stereotypes or any hesitation. You have people that from all different ages and backgrounds, and they all like unite together in this one game, in this one guild. This guild that they're in, you have students, you have 30-year-olds, and then you have a couple. You have Popotaro and Himerelda are actually a married husband and wife. There's actually some scenes where Pokotaro, like this big guy, will be playing, and all of a sudden, like, when he's talking, the other characters are like, is this Himerelda playing right now? And then the character will be like, yep. So sometimes they like share their characters, which I think is cute. It's a nice diversity, like different ages, different stages of life. What's interesting is I'm kind of hoping maybe if the show continues, they'll focus, now that Mori and Yuta are starting to form like a couple, they'll focus on Lilac and Kanbei, because Kanbei and Lilac, they look like they're the same age, both students, and she's really really crushing on Kanbei. And it really hints that something could happen, but they've never met each other in real life. They don't know who they are. So, and Kanbei's a really good character. He is the guild leader. And even though he's younger, he seems very wise for his age. And he got stuck in like a really awkward but funny situation. He knew that Morty's character was actually a girl. And he knew that Yuta's character is actually a guy. And they both wanted to tell the other. And Kanbei's right in the middle. Like, you should probably just tell them the truth, and trying to give each other advice. He was like stuck between a rock and a hard place. It was so lighthearted and so enjoyable. I think it was a very successful show. There was a lot of downtime. Like, I didn't really interpret it as slow. It's just, they definitely make you feel the awkwardness of the characters.
Which is the best part of the show.
Yes, you feel so uncomfortable watching them trying to interact because they're so shy, and you're just like, you cringe a little bit like, oh my god, I can't take this. Like, it really makes you feel. It does a good job.
I've been there.
Yeah. Oh man, I was so shy in college. First year, I remember somebody like trying to go up and talk to me, and I was just like, I think the only words I get out was like, my name, and that was it. And I would just like run away. But yeah, so it was a nice show, and it was also voted in the top 10 for the best anime of 2017 on Anime News Network's website. So I was happy to see that. That was actually one of the shows that we voted for. It was definitely well deserved. If you haven't seen the show already, now that we spoiled the crap out of it, I hope you enjoy watching it. You can find it on Crunchyroll. Do you want to see more of this show?
I like this show. I really have no complaints about it. However, I don't know how much more they can do with it. Like, if it were to end the way it ended, I think I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I need more. I wouldn't mind seing how some of the other characters develop, I guess.
All right. I had the same thing in mind. So I don't think they can do much more with the main characters. I think that they've, focused on all they could. It ended with them holding hands and being a couple, and I think that was great. We have yet to really touch on the lives of these other characters in the guild. I would really like if they could continue the show to focus on the other potential couple, if Lilac and Kanbei could meet and see what happens there. And, maybe they won't become a couple, maybe they just become friends, but it's just, I think that would be a nice development. And then maybe learn a little bit about Pokotaro and Emeralda. They're already married, but just to learn about them, maybe they're people they already know. They were such great characters. I really liked the character design of Pokotaro. When they designed him, they did the max height and weight. They just like all the way up. He's like humongous. But I want to talk about the music in this anime. I think the intro song was fantastic. I feel like a lot of the shows I've been watching, the intros have been like, they've been like good, entertaining, but not quite memorable. And then I heard the intro to this show, and I was like, this is great. I love this song. And you can watch as they kind of toy around with the character design as they're designing their characters. I thought it was just...
honest,
you
I
forgot
don't
it.
remember
You forgot it,
song,
didn't you?
Yeah.
Damn it. All right, well, I'll make you listen to it again. But while you listen to this great tune, you get to see them designing their characters, picking the hair colors and the weight. And I just think it was great job.
I think that's our take on Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 13 episode show, so I mean, I can't really drag it out too long. It's kind of a simple but sweet, You can't really take it apart too much.
I agree.
But I really recommend it. I think it's okay for...
It's a nice break from other...
Yeah, and I know,
animes.
like, your biggest qualm, you were saying, like, I think a few episodes ago was the age group. The anime is always focusing on these, like, high school kids with these big responsibilities. And now here, finally, to break it up a bit, we have these 30-year-olds where they have regular daily obligations, but, they're just trying to get through life. Very small developments, but I just think it's things that you're going to see in everyday life, trying to connect with other people.
It's easy to relate.
Yeah, I think it hits home. It was definitely a nice change of pace. I recommend it for everybody. Yeah, so that's a thumbs up in our book, and I think that's it. That's our take on Recovery of an MMO Junkie. And
recommendation of the wonderful
virtual life. If you guys are playing any awesome MMOs, anime style or not, let us know if you have any recommendations for any games, because I'm always looking for another MMO to play. Not that I should be hooked on another one right now. But you can always reach us at gitcanime@gmail.com. Our episodes will always be up on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. And then, of course, there's our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There is our Patreon account where you get awesome perks for joining our Patreon page. And of course, it also helps us fund the podcast and help us grow as a podcast. And it's always appreciated.
Thank you to you guys for listening, getting us through 2017.
Yes.
We do hope you'll be more interested in reaching out to us. We'd love to hear some feedback. Always want to make the show better. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to Anthony. Thank you to our patrons. Next week, we are covering My Hero Academia. And I have to say, quickly climbing the ranks of one of my favorite animes ever.
Yes.
It is so entertaining.
It was an instant love, and it was voted #1 for 2017. No surprise why. And we will have our spirit animal Blake back with us as the guest, and it was also one of his favorites, so we're looking forward to having him here with us, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.